excited. How are you all? So, this is Eat to Heal charity for African parents in Europe. I am here today to share some of the ways we can improve our family's health and well being. I have invited someone to join us today to speak about how she got into changing her lifestyle, the well being of her own personal health and that of her family. And I'll start by giving a shout out to our sponsors. Our number one sponsor are AACSL Accountants Limited. These people, I have had good customer service, but you see, this accounting firm, go and try them for yourself, for your self assessment, which is coming up soon, as you know, in April. Try them and come back and thank me. I don't want to say anymore. I want you to go and try them because every single person I have introduced to them have come back with good review of their customer service. So I have no doubt you will experience it. Hi, Queen Doji. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Okay, so I was just giving a shout out to our sponsors. Our next sponsor is Odogu African Shop. This one, tried and tested. Anything you want from ugu, abacha, angara, anything you want to have fresh, go there. They are on Midas House, Waltz Road in Dagenham. Another one is Lulu's Bake Shop. Lulu's Bake Shop is your corner shop for all things African, small chop food. Okay, you can go there. And finally, we have Lord Taylor. Lord Taylor is your go to place for shipping things from back home here. And also transferring money. If you know Lord Taylor, I have never met a dogged businessman like Lord Taylor. Go and try them. They are in Dagenham. So I'll tag them at the end of our video. Let's just start with what we came here for today. So the reason why I thought it was necessary for us to come online and speak live is because of some of the personal health issues myself and Queen Tochi have gone through. Some of you may know me and you know some of my stories. I've been very vocal. And the reason why I've been vocal is because of the pain I went through and because I didn't find a solution easily. Nobody was talking about these things at the time. I was embarrassed and ashamed of what I was going through. I went to the doctor several times and they told me to eat less and move more. Look at me now. Where do I want to be moving and be eating less? I'm already as less can get. So I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I carried on like that. COVID hit and I lost mobility. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know that all of these years, right after, even before I had my second son. In fact, let me go back a little bit. So, I had PCOS to the point where I had one of my ovaries taken out. So, this was before I even got married, I had my children with one ovary. Nobody is telling me, oh, how is this happening? I just thought it was normal for somebody to have this kind of health condition. No, 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 no. It is not normal. Every health condition we go through started from something. There is a foundation for it. I went through that. I had one of my ovaries taken out. As God may have it, I was able to conceive. I have two lovely boys. I went on to losing mobility during COVID. I was losing my hair. I was very depressed. I didn't even know I was depressed. It took my mother, my school mother, one day when she heard me just complaining about random things, how it's difficult to raise children, work. She said, Sarah, you're depressed. When she said that, that sunk in. But I didn't know what to do. I carried on with life. Getting out of bed was a drag. You know how you hate your day, but you just need to drag yourself out of it. I remember going back to work after having children, and I was always in tears. I didn't know what was going on. It was when I lost mobility Bear in mind, I had started my wellness journey. It wasn't long after my mom died. I knew that I had to change things because otherwise I was headed for the same path: diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, death. Hmm? So when I started losing my hair and I lost mobility for about 8 hours, I knew something was still not right. I needed to fine tune my lifestyle. One of the things I really honed on in was sleep, sleep, sleep and meditation, and then food. Our food is very organic and very healthy. However, we need to be mindful how we cook it. We overcook food, we overfry things, and we damage the nutrients in our food. So today, Tochi is going to tell us her own story and tell us what she started to. For me, I started cooking the Eat to Heal one pot meal and one bowl meal. And that is what gradually led me to healing. My hair started to grow back. Depression was better because I included vitamin D. I never knew vitamin D was a thing. For over 10 years or 15 years of me living in this country, I don't think I ever took vitamin D supplement. And nobody told me that with our skin color, you live in a country in the UK like this that is cold, you do need a lot of vitamin D. Otherwise, you will crash like I crashed. It got to a point, my depression was so bad. When I have documents I need to sign, eh, I couldn't bring myself to mentally put my signature on a piece of paper. I'll be looking at the paper there. I couldn't get myself to do it. Procrastination became the order of the day. To get out of the house, to socialize was so hard. Oh, my years of having children was a turbulent time, to say the least. And that is out of ignorance. I didn't know any better. And as time went on and I incorporated exercise, I have a daily routine. In the morning, I first meditate, I exercise, I read my Bible, I read a book, I listen to the Word of God. I do all these things because they help me start my day right. No matter what happens, that day is going to be good. So, enough of me now. I'm going to let Queen Tochi speak to us a little bit. All right, Tochi, take the floor.
Thank you very much for having me here, dear. Could you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for having me. And I think it's an absolute joy and a privilege to know you. Okay. So you're not just a coach, but you're also a very good friend. The one thing I love about you is that we can disagree, both with so much respect. Okay, and I love that about you. So on my own journey, with health and well-being in general, it wasn't something that I started. I've always loved to live a healthy life, to eat a healthy food and all these things. But I think when I came to England, I felt like food is food. Okay, my husband is someone that he doesn't like junk. From the moment I stepped my foot here, he was like, I don't want this, I don't like this, I don't like that. Oh, why are you buying crisps? Why are you buying cakes? Why are you don't need that. And I'm like, oh, forget, life is too short. Just enjoy, every now and again, it's not too bad. So I was like that. So I believe in moderation at that time, but I didn't realize that I was, damaging my inner body and my children's body as well. So yeah, I think it's until after when I had my second son, with women, I started having incontinence, and they said it's because I have two cesareans. That it does happen to some women when they have children, when they have cesarean, that you can be having incontinence. So I had medication. So I was taking that medication, and there was a time I just get fed up with that medication. So I stopped that medication and I carried on. I was just managing it. So until I started putting on weight and I didn't like it. You want to feel good, you want to, look good. And I didn't realize that a lot of things that was happening to me, even my eyesight was going bad. I was having so much ache. I was going to physio pretty much every week because I think my neck was so stiff, and they said it's the stiff muscles and all these things. There's little things that was happening. Dental issues as well. That I think for over a year, and I was going to specialist hospital center. And but the main one was weight. I was putting on weight to the muscular issues.
Mhm.
I'm going to do something. So as usual, I started looking on the NHS, and was drawn into doing calorie restrictions, counting calories. And I did that. That was because I did that for over 3 months, and I wasn't getting results. Instead, I wasn't feeling good. I didn't like it. And my friends who saw me was like, "What are you doing? You look sick." I said, I know I look sick, but I don't know why I'm looking sick." And she said, "Whatever it is, just stop it."
That's what they just say. Our people don't like to see
Not
people
because
go
you
from
stop.
having weight to losing it.
Yes, just stop. You are not losing any weight. And I know I'm not losing weight, but my face, was looking very sick, like somebody who has been sick for a long time. So I just abandoned it. And then I started looking for answers somewhere else. So I was, going through on the internet, and I was seeing so much about keto. And I don't know. There's so many variations of it when you go online. So I said,
Hmm.
by Dr. Atkins
Hmm.
book. So I bought it and I read it, and it made sense to me.
Yeah.
So when I read Dr. Atkins' diet, it's all about keto anyway, but he goes deeper and explains more, how insulin can be very to the body. And that's when I started researching, and I came across Professor Tim Nooks and every other person, and Dr. Fung. So I read all the books. And that's when I started to modify, my Nigerian diet. I didn't change our diet, but I modified it. And while I was doing that, I was also noticing that my husband was the first person that stopped eating bread. So I looked at him. I said, "Why?" He said, "Oh, no, I don't want that." I don't think. I thought to myself, "Why are you even eating this?" And they said in that book, bread is the one of the worst thing you can put in your body, because the wheat are not good anymore. The wheat are not like the wheat before. They have modified and tweaked the wheat that there is no nutrients in the wheat anymore. So I just cut out bread, and I started eating Nigerian food, mainly Nigerian food, increased my fat, and I started seeing. The first thing I noticed is the incontinence. That's the first thing that went away. And
Wow.
I said to my husband, I don't know why.
Wow.
Uh, because when I was having that incontinence in the evening, I am usually very scared to drink. I don't want to drink because I don't want to be waking up in the night to go to the toilet. I don't like drinking when I'm going out because I don't want to have that pressure that I need to
Hey,
do.
what kind of life? Who would not want to feel
So
better?
it's horrible. You will be tasty, but I wouldn't drink. I will be tasty, but I will not drink, because once it comes, if you have that pressure that you need to wait, you're gone.
Yes.
Complete the embarrassment,
Yes.
and I hated it. So that's the first thing I noticed. And then, even though I'm wearing my glasses because of the screen, when I'm looking at the smaller screen, my eyesight started to improve.
Wow.
Because when if I can't watch TV without glasses, but now I can.
Hmm.
Before I cannot. It's literally I feel like
Hmm.
going blind. So these are the things. Even my own husband, my husband. I remember he said that he used to feel anxiety a lot. That he has to go to hospital, and they checked. They said, "Oh, they didn't see anything wrong with his chest. Is it chest? His heart. So that one, he said that, oh, for yesterday that we're talking about it, and he said he has never felt anxiety anymore.
Hmm.
you know. And I'm seeing results even in my own children. I don't want to go into their own issues because it's quite personal, but I saw results. My son takes his food to school. Now, if I ask him, "Oh, would you want to school meal?" He will be like, "Oh, no." Well, I'll
Who wants garbage when they have a food made for a king? Eh?
my God. We are happier now. We enjoy our food. We don't eat that much. We only eat twice in a day now. My husband doesn't. He eats once a day, and he doesn't even feel like he's missing out on anything. So that's my own personal story.
Ah, when I saw that your video about your eyes, when I think I need to break it down, what happens to the eye?
Yeah,
The fact that children are beginning, they said the level of diabetes in children have gone up 20%. The level of, yes, the level of, I was listening to somebody's podcast, they mentioned it, the level of fatty liver disease in children have gone up 30%.
Yeah.
Our In the past, it was our grandmothers who would wear glasses. Today, children are wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Why? Now, this is what happens. You see our blood vessels when it is clogged with let's say sugar, yeah, because sugar constricts the blood vessels
It
and
dam-
it makes it difficult to pump
damages
blood.
it.
That
Yeah.
is what high blood pressure.
Uh,
And when you start having high blood pressure, that same blood that is constricting and causing your blood pressure to be high, the eyes has they have veins, okay? And when that's also difficult for the eye, it sugar affects everything in our body. I don't know if I can say that high blood sugar is the genesis of most chronic disease you can think of. All
yeah.
these things, they will say you have high blood pressure, you have diabetes, you have
So,
fibromyalgia, you have multiple sclerosis, all sugar, insulin resistance, and high blood pressure, all of them together.
yeah, insulin
So,
resistance is at the root of every most metabolic issues, whether
yeah,
it's damage to your eyes, your brain, Alzheimer's disease,
bone, bone.
diabetes, your arthritis. What else am I missing now? Even your legs, it will damage all the blood vessels that go through your legs, and that's why some people their legs started to swell.
Mhm.
Even before it gets to full blown diabetes. We don't talk about obesity, and people don't realize that obesity is a big problem, because once you are obese, you are likely to have other health issues, diabetes, your eyes, everything else, your organs get damaged, everything, your liver, everything gets compromised.
That's it. That's it. And if even if we will not do this for ourselves, and I don't know why we should not do this for ourselves, what
Mhm.
about the children we brought into this world? Why should our ignorance affect the innocent children we have? And this is where I think we as parents need to look more into, because at this point the children are still living under our roof. So what it is we keep in our house is what they are likely to eat. We still have chance to like make changes in their life before they fly the nest.
Mhm.
Whatever unhealthy food you put in the house is definitely what they're going to. So we need to put it on ourselves to make sure that we surround our environment with at least relatively healthy food. So our children are not plagued with some of these diseases from a very young age. Some of the things I experienced are not things that I started doing in my adulthood. It was things I was doing long before. Remember in secondary school, then I thought I was a big girl. I'll go and be eating puff puff and 7 Up instead of going to the dinner hall to eat the watery coral they will give us. That was much better than what I was. Today I'm paying for it as I'm speaking. My knees hurt, my back hurt. These are the damage sugar has done. My eyes are not bad enough for glasses, but I know they are blurring. Okay. So when I speak about these things, is because of the pain that I have gone through, the pain I did go through because I didn't know any better. I didn't teach myself any better until this thing I'm saying, maybe like 5 years ago. So I hope that our talk today would help us to do better. Tochi has an Instagram page. She's Queen Tochi. Tochi, talk about where you share your all your goodies.
My I am on YouTube as well. The same Quintochi Henry. I am on Instagram and Facebook. That's all. Um, I'm not on TikTok, but anybody who wants to share my content on TikTok is free to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, so we have a Facebook group called African Parents in Europe where we hold each other's hand as we journey through this parenting duty, the most important duty in my opinion, some other people might think different because when we have these children, we're not just having them for ourselves, they're going to go out into society. And because we chose to have them, I believe that we should do a good job so they don't go into society and cause even more problem that we already have. So parenting is very important to us. And that's what we share. We also share how we can support our children with exams and support them to do the best that they can. We also share, we laugh, we make fun, we learn things from each other. We are on Instagram as African Parents in Europe, and there is also the Eat to Heal charity. All of these things, we work together to make life easier for us abroad, and we also welcome members from back home who we support. We would like to continue to support. So thank you all for listening to us today. This is our debut YouTube live, and I'm sure Tochi and I will come back to share more things about family, parenting, relationships, marriage, and raising healthy children that will thrive in society. Thank you all for listening, and see you next time. Take care. Tochi, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.